All right, let's get started. So, those of you know me, well, those who don't, my name is Moin. Okay, I'm one of the analysts over here. So, I guess most of the names I see here are pretty common names that I have seen before. So, I'll take it like we are already familiar. But before I start, my favorite disclaimer, nothing that I mention here on the live or on our chat or on the server anywhere is anything of a financial advice. We're not qualified to give you that. Okay, so this completely from the perspective of education, completely from the perspective of learning. So with that, let's start our first live on this server. So if you know, the format is completely a free format. We get here to learn from each other, to enhance ourselves as traders. Anything related to trading, you can ask me. In the zone and smooth, both are here. You can ask them. Okay, we are the main sponsors behind this server. We do have a few other people as well, like James, okay, Geo, Tundra, okay, and most of the faces that you know, I'll say from Alpha Space. So that's there. So let's start. Who wants to go first? Anything that comes to your mind, ask us. This is your opportunity. If you showed up here, you definitely have an objective. And this one, this server entirely, the whole objective why this was created and that was like to make ourselves as independent traders, to find our own trades, execute our own strategies, take profits as we wish. That's there. So, who wants to go first? Please go ahead. Feel free to ask your questions.
I just want to welcome in Joyrider as well. He's one of our analysts here as well, joining our live. Say hello.
Hey, Jarrider. Glad to have you here.
Hey,
I haven't seen your
likewise.
options things, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's really good.
He is.
Hey, I'm
Yeah. So, should I
just
stop
just
posting
sitting
levels from
back
tomorrow
watching.
and just depend on you?
Say again?
Should I stop posting levels from tomorrow and just leave it completely to you? Sleep for 15 minutes more in the morning?
uh, I'm gonna start posting more often,
Awesome.
and I'm
Okay.
and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it about around 8:30,
Mm-hmm.
so that gives everyone time to go over the charts and kind of compare and then make their own and develop their own plan. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
it at least an hour before market and give everyone time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
perfect. All right. For me, I know I'm a little bit late. By the time I get to post, it's around 9:15 to 9:30, but I'll definitely try to post by 9 a.m. from tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
But I only do
Then
like
and
four. Like I have like SPY and QQQ I have been doing for very long. Okay, cause I have been doing futures on it based off that. But Tesla and Nvidia I just started from last week. Okay. And I'll welcome your feedback. Any place you feel like to improve, feel free to share it with me. I'm always open to feedback.
Okay, okay. Oh, one more thing before I go mute. Most of my I will try to I will do my best. No, sorry, correction. I will post SPY, but most of the stocks I trade are small caps or small cap to medium caps. I don't really do large cap that often.
Nice. I want to learn that actually from you. Okay, this was the whole objective of like creating this server, not to have something like a money grab or to have something so commercial. Okay, but rather to help each other to grow. Awesome. Okay. Thanks again
Okay,
for joining us.
most definitely.
Okay. So, who wants to go with the questions? Anyone? Feel free.
Hello, can you hear me?
Of course, you can hear you, Gigi.
Hi, how are you?
We're good, thanks. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you for doing this. I greatly appreciate it. I sent you a message regarding if you could please review Google, the ticker for Google, and also Archer,
SCHR.
ACHR.
Okay.
Yes, please.
You wouldn't believe if I tell you, right? Like when I
But
started trading, SCHR was a SPAC at that time. It was one of the very first stocks I picked up. Okay. And I had the false hope at that time that I'm a great swing trader.
Wow.
Okay, I backheld it for almost more than a year. Then sold it for like a 10-cent profit at something like $6 or something. Now when I
Wow.
see it, I'm like, oh my, okay, this thing really jumped up. But be careful.
Yeah.
The beating that
Okay.
SPY took today, it is gonna
Mhm.
have a pretty negative effect if we don't have an immediate bounce from here.
Okay.
Okay, I was joking with a friend just 2 days
Order
before
filled.
that where is SPY gonna end up at the end of this year. We were like 615 to 20 is easy in near sides, okay. And 630 also was very probable, but looks like 600 is going to be a challenge. So let's start with SCHR. What are you doing with it? Like
I traded it today.
yeah, you're trading the
Yeah, I did.
options on it or you're trading the actual stocks on it. I don't know even if it has
No.
options.
I did. I
It
did
does have
options.
options.
I did options today.
Great. I think Joyrider, you're more specialized on like small caps options, right? You want to take over?
I've got a question in regards to the
Yeah.
options on it. If someone could give
Mm-hmm.
some insight. So I own I have like 1,200 shares. So I put 12 contracts out, and then
So you're doing
uh,
covered calls.
yeah, you cover calls, and then the stock price went up. So I was like, okay, well, let me extend them out to the max, and I just did it because I thought, I'd hold on to it till it hit the expected $12 or $14 on the share
Mm-hmm.
price.
Mm-hmm.
And the strike price is $10. So I'm like, that's fine. I'll sell it at the premium plus 10, but it
Mm-hmm.
never gets to the 10, and so I'm still holding the stock, and it goes up and down, up and down, and I feel like it's a lost opportunity having so much money tied up in it, and I just don't know how to get out of the call without. I don't want to lose. I mean, I don't want to buy them back at a higher price
When is
than
your expiry? 30th of January?
it's January 2027.
Yeah, 30th of
So
January, because this definitely will be a monthly option. From what I understand, is like small caps always have like a monthly expiry, right? They don't have like a weekly expiry like the ones that
it
you
does.
typically trade.
You can do weeks for usually the first maybe month, possibly the second one, but after that, you're right. It goes by month or every 6 months or every year.
Mm-hmm.
Up until like 2 years out. I don't know who decides the price the strike price, but it kind of pisses me off because they do $7 and then $10. So I'm like stuck at that point where I'd have to sell it at seven plus. Like
I'm just
kind of
pulling up the
a
options chart for it. This
sure.
goes on by 50-cent increments. Okay, I can see options contracts all the way. This has weekly expiries if you see.
Up to what date though? Up to the first couple months, maybe.
No, this has weekly expiries all the way up to January 31st. It has weekly expiries all the way in. Okay,
Okay, so they
let
must have
me,
expanded it because you could only go to like $10 or $12
yeah,
as a strike, and
like you can
then
see
yeah,
here. Okay, it has
yeah.
weekly expiries all the way up to January
Oh wow,
31st.
yeah, they added a bunch of stuff. So I
Okay,
can I do? Do they have like a $9 strike at 2 years out?
2 years out. I don't think you
Yeah,
have two
yeah, I
years
think
out
so.
actually.
But they don't think they have the
You have three
strike.
years out as well.
Well, that's right. I'm at the 2027.
Okay, so what
So I
can
guess
you sell actually for
so.
2027?
Yeah. I was trying to get. There's all this money on. I mean, it's like I got $5,000 in premiums that I could use to invest in the thing. So I looked at it as like a free loan.
Mm-hmm.
But then the loan value went up, so now it costs me more to buy it back, which
It's gonna cost you more to buy it back. You can do two things. One, you won't get called on it till January 2027, correct?
well, I can get called on it as soon as it hits the strike price, and that's
Nope.
fine with me because then I
Nope.
get an exit.
No.
No way.
No. Smooth, please correct me if I'm wrong here. Prior to expiry, no one can call in those contracts, correct, Smooth?
Well, they may not
I
typically,
have
but
been told covered calls before, so I'm not too sure.
Moin, you can exercise contracts at any point. It doesn't matter when you like, if it's in the money, you can
yeah,
exercise them.
yeah.
Uh,
No,
you don't have to do it at the expiration.
Really?
and that's fine. That's fine with me too. Like that was my expectation is that someone probably would take it So because then they could have
Okay.
have control of stock shares, and then I'm out, right? I don't have to buy back the premium or any of that.
Well,
But it's not hitting that $10 mark, so I don't know what to do. Like so I set up like I would buy it back as it dropped. So like when there's a pullback on the price, the value of the covered calls drops. So I'd like instead of buying back all 12, I'll buy back two at a time progressively and kind of like average cost my expense on it, and start to exit the position that way. That was the only thing I could figure out that would be reasonable to do. But I don't know. Maybe there's some insider knowledge about like something clever you can do. But maybe not.
there's a reason I hate options. Anyway, yeah. All right. Gigi, I haven't forgotten your question. We will come back to it. Okay. Just give me a sec to figure this out. So you have $10 strike price contracts, right? For January
Mm-hmm.
2027. What was your
Yeah,
premium? What did you get on it? I mean, whoever
I
paid you.
collected. I got like $4,800 for the 12
So 4
contracts.
point 48 $4 basically. So
Rough.
yeah,
Yeah, about four
$4.
or something.
Okay. So give
410,
or
I think.
take, unless this thing is actually hitting 14, it wouldn't make sense for the person whoever took them from you, okay, or whoever is buying it now to exercise your contracts. Plain and simple. They could buy it off the
Well,
market at a cheaper price.
there could be. I understand the logic there. Yeah, why would they do it until? But
Yeah.
I guess there are times if it depending who bought it. If it was like a someone hedging a particular position, there could be reason why they would want it. I mean, they could be so that they could put covered calls on it too, right? Or they could do a number of things, I suppose. But
Well, doesn't really make
yeah,
sense. Okay,
I
and you
don't
have
know
the
for sure.
stocks anyway. What was your
Yeah,
price for buying the stocks?
I think I averaged at like 342.
342. So you're very much in the money, right?
Yeah, yeah. I should. I wish I could have sold it when it hit nine something, and then
You can
bought again
sell
when it
it right
dropped. And
now. You can sell it
no,
right
I can't.
now. Of course you can.
Well, I got to buy back the covered calls first.
No. Which broker is this?
Fidelity, they
I don't know
suck.
how they operate. Okay, but with interactive brokers, I can assure you this. You can do naked calls and naked puts. Okay, the moment you sell this, the SEHR actual stocks, that would become from a covered call to a naked call.
Which could be risky if it hits the $10 and they execute, right? Well, but you're saying that they
Logically,
probably wouldn't even do
they
that.
will
They wouldn't
not.
do it.
Any sane person would not do that because it wouldn't make absolutely any sense for them to do it.
So I could leave it naked for a period of time until I did what? I still have to buy them back eventually, right?
Yeah, you can do that. Or what you can do is you could literally sell it at the top. Okay, this thing looks like it peaked, honestly, just looking at this single candle. Okay,
Nine something or
no,
almost hit 10.
I will come back to why when I explain for GG, but looks like it
Okay.
peaked. Okay, you could basically sell it one if it goes back around 10, and then you could easily buy it back again. Nobody is stopping
Sell
you.
what? The shares,
Sorry?
or are you talking about what part are you talking about buying?
You could buy back the shares if you really wanted to cover it, or you could buy 10 calls again on it for the same strike from the same expiry at a cheaper price. Okay, say for $2 you bought it, you still have like $2,000 in profit.
You're saying that with my covered calls, buy additional, like because I still have covered
No,
calls. You're
if you
saying buy
sold the
covered calls?
shares now, your covered calls becomes a naked call. Okay? So
Yeah.
you will basically have minus 10 calls in your portfolio. Minus 12 calls in your portfolio. Makes
Okay.
Order
sense?
filled.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you can do is basically you go back at that time and then you say, okay, I'm gonna buy this off the market at this price. Okay, and your minus 10, you basically bought 10, right? Sorry, 12. You have 12, right? You basically buy
Yeah.
12 from the market. So you are plus 12 from the market and you have a minus 12 in your position. So all in all, what does that equate to? That equates to 0. You basically closed your position. That's it. Same
If I
like covering a
if I
short.
if I could find if I buy the same for the same date, right? The same expiration date
Exactly. You have
and
to
the
buy
same.
exactly the same expiration, same strike price.
Can I do that without selling the shares? Because I don't think Fidelity won't let me sell the
That is
shares
something
until
I
I.
cannot answer, right? That depends on your broker. I can only answer for my broker because I know very well how they operate.
What kind of account do you use with Interactive Broker? Is it an IRA or just a brokerage account, or what type of account is it?
I always have margin accounts.
Well, I have a margin account as a Roth IRA with Fidelity, and that may be one of the limiting factors. Like they won't let me do certain types of behaviors.
Okay, I don't know how
But
it operates in your place, right? I cannot comment on it because
no, no, no.
each
I'm
broker
just
is
speaking
different.
out loud. I
Yep.
think that's part of the issue.
Okay.
But yeah.
Now,
So
Nikolai,
hey,
I have to pause
can
you
you
here
transfer?
because
Yeah,
you actually
yeah.
hijacked someone's questions.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize. I
I
just
have to
wanted
go
to.
back to Gigi because the question was
Please, please,
originally
please, please,
hers. All right.
please do. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Gigi, you said like you play options on it. Okay, so you're swinging it, you're day trading it. Like what do you do, madam?
Yes, I swing it.
You swing it. So what are you holding right now?
Day trade and swing it.
Okay, so what you're planning to do with this right now?
But I want you to take. Could you take a look at the chart and give me your thoughts on what do you see going on in the chart for Archer tomorrow, upcoming?
Does it look like I have a crystal ball?
No, but I want your thoughts because I know you have some good thoughts.
You're smarter than me. All right. See, on the daily, basically, we can't see levels anymore, right? While talking to Nikolai, I
Hmm.
was drawing the levels. Okay, on the daily, I cannot see levels anymore. So what I'll do is I'll switch to a weekly chart for reference now.
What did you say?
Okay, I'll switch to a weekly chart for reference now. All right.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't see levels?
On the
What levels
daily,
can?
basically, if I
Huh?
squeeze it more, even then, I
Mhm.
can't go back anymore to find next levels.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I got you.
Okay. So what I'll
Yeah,
do
yeah.
is I'll switch to a weekly chart now to see if anything was there in the previous times. So what I can see is like this thing. Where am I getting that
Scalper
1058
said I
from?
think you have crystal ball, I see the win percent S. Can you
Hold on,
look at
did it jump up to
SPX?
$16 somewhere?
Oh no, this was the original time when basically it changed the name from the SPAC to SCHR really. Okay.
Long time ago.
Yeah,
Long time ago.
long
Okay.
time
Yeah.
ago. I started buying it at 12. I started averaging down. Then basically I
I'm sorry.
sold it at somewhere around here for 10-cent profit. I was like super happy to get out of it. Just the same
Yeah.
experience like in the zone you had getting out of NRBO today. I can say it. Okay. It was exactly the same experience. Man, bag holding is one of the worst feelings you can have in the world.
Order filled.
Absolutely.
Honestly. Okay. I really wish it doesn't happen to anybody.
Order filled.
And bag holding on penny stocks
Order filled.
is probably the worst type of trades you can do. So anyway, this literally became a penny stock. Now it's trying to become a bit respectable and become like a mid cap. Okay. So from here, I will look at the level. Now you see today the 1058 failed. Do you see from where past this level is coming from? It's coming back from 3 years back, more than 3 years
Hal
back.
said I have a question about the big sell off today.
Hal, sure, one by one. Okay, let's finish with Madam first. So right over here, this is the reason basically it's so important to have your levels properly set. Okay, like you often hear me saying like if I don't have the levels, I won't take a trade. I can't just do it like in the zone does. Like he looks at the chart and he knows what to do. I simply don't have that capability. Okay, for me, I need that confirmation. I need my levels before I can get into a trade. That's why you will see me shorting penny stocks a lot. By the time I start doing it, he actually took his profit on the long and did it. We are very different types of traders, but we complement each other. Okay. So right over here, that level came from. What after this? After this, if you broke through, the only level, viable level that you see here is this. And after this is this. Okay. There's nothing else. So looking at today, if we go back, what you're looking is that same 1058 level that we saw, it had a very hard rejection from it. And it fell down actually to another level if you look at it, 863. Okay, it cut down among one level in the middle. 863 is previously the previous swing high. You see here? This is it. Okay, so the markets are traded by people like you, me, Nikolai, Joan, everybody, right? So when we saw this coming here, a lot of people basically preempted. They bought it here with the expectation that it will go back. It may or it may not. But right now, I will have a negative.
Pablo said exactly my question. With the high volatility of penny stocks, how easy will be to draw levels before taking the trade?
Of course, it's okay, easy to do it if you know what you are doing, Pablo. Okay, so Right over here, if I'm looking at it, we bounced pretty hard on this level. This level is pretty strong because we had one bounce here. This is the second bounce. Now, till this thing, and also we had the 200 EMA on the 30 here. Okay, so for day traders, this is not a reference chart actually, but for for intraday traders, this is a reference chart. For scalpers, it is not. But people who are looking into a bit longer term, like an hourly or 4 hours, okay, trying to swing it like Gigi, you said that sometimes you swing. If you're planning to swing it for a month out or something, your trend still is not broken. Your trend is just being tested now. Okay. On the daily, you're very extended. But if you look at the 4 hours, your trend is intact. The person who is swinging for a longer term. On the one, your trend just broke through, but it's trying very closely to reclaim your 20. Okay, and if I go on a shorter time frame like 30 or something, you are desperately trying to bounce back and go here. So if I'm looking at it tomorrow, the first level I would love to see is reclaim of the 20 EMA as well as the 9.50 mark, right around here. Okay, if this reclaims, I'm good to have another go at it. Target being very simple, a retest of 10. And if 10 retest is successful, you're going to break this. Now, what to the downside? Why do you fail? If this doesn't hold on, because this is actually moving today in the after hours on very low volume. In the after hours, SPY is trying to make a recovery. SPY tried to make a light recovery. You can see. So everything basically had a side effect of that. Looking at it, if it recovers, well and good. If not, what's your fallback plan, right? You can play puts on it as well. And especially for
Okay.
Nikolai, because he's like
It
out on his
they're
contract.
expensive.
Yeah,
They're so expensive. They're like $1.50 for like $1.50's like you'd have to drop down to below $7 to make any headway on them,
all right. Let's see.
unless you're selling them. I guess you could sell them short, right? You could
Mm-hmm.
sell them off, maybe.
I
I don't
love
know. I just didn't
selling
see how money
naked
was.
calls and naked puts, right? Selling the false hope is the best thing you can do to people. Okay, it doesn't sound ethical, but we are not here to talk about ethics. We're here to talk about making money. So, right up here, basically, if this level fails tomorrow, okay, I would be very cautious the moment it starts getting below 9. Because if it starts getting below 9, this is where you are looking at a retest. Now, we all read this. The more times something retests, it is likely to give away. So we already have once, twice, this is coming back. If this starts coming below 9, retest this, the retest is failing, you have a long drop to fall. There is your 7, Nikolai. Okay, you don't have anything in the middle because it ran up very drastically if you look. Even if I pull a hourly chart, you can see that the run up is massive.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the run up is very massive. The thing with markets is, like, if the markets are going up very fast, when the pullback comes, the pullback will be equally fast. It's like a rubber band, plain and simple. You stretch a rubber band, you release it. As far as it goes, it will come back as far. That's the nature of the markets. Okay. So these are times of extreme volatility. Like, I have been trading roughly 3 years and 10 months now. I have never seen a dump on SPY like this. I guess some of you are more experienced than me here. Probably you can say if you have seen it, but for me, I have never seen anything like this.
What is it that happened to the spy that you're saying is so unusual?
Well, if you haven't looked at a SPY chart, let's have a quick look. This is your SPY chart.
It's
What
down
does it look
almost
like?
3% in a day.
Yeah, they could
Well,
literally
I did
stop the
read that. I
market.
did read
B.
that today, but
Said the dump.
They could literally
So the
stop the
funny thing
market
is,
actually today, the whole market, because there is a rule that SPY drops more than 2%. SEC can easily stop the market and smooth, especially for you and me. CME rules are exactly mirror of that. We trade futures, right? That even if SEC does not stop the market, CME can stop trading futures at 2%, 3%, and 5% drops on anything. So be careful,
There
bro.
was a slight halt too to during today. You couldn't buy in sell contracts at some point. You could buy into it, but you
Really?
can sell it. Yeah,
I
I
didn't
tried
read that.
to get rid
When
of
was it?
I tried to get rid of some contracts and it went gray, like I couldn't sell it. It wouldn't allow me.
You sure it
Yeah,
was
it's
And
not
then
my
I had to wait
platform
a little
froze?
bit. No,
Because my
it was
wealth chart
everything was
platform
fine.
totally froze, moved today. I told you, right? I'm beta testing a
Oh,
new platform, wealth charts. It totally froze
oh,
on me
okay.
and blew two of my accounts. Okay, they gave me
Oh
20
my
accounts to
god.
beta test, 20 evals. Two simply blew without any reason. I have no idea why I sent the feedback to them. Okay, but anyway, those are free accounts. I really don't care. But that told me like the platform has a long way to go. Okay, SPY today. This is a penny stock chart. This is not a SPY chart. If you had any
That
So
doubts,
was
okay,
should we buy into SPY at first thing tomorrow? Is that what you're
that.
saying, or even after hours?
why? Why
No,
do
I
you want
think
to
it's
catch
the.
a falling knife?
Yeah, I don't know.
Bro, if you
I'd be
want to
careful there.
gamble, go to a
Well, how far
casino.
is it going to fall? No, I was just like, don't they usually have to come back? I mean, like,
Why?
I
Who
mean, it
told
tried
you?
to overnight. There's a little small relief.
There will be relief bounce, which happened right here. Okay,
Yeah,
and right after the
that's.
market closes, if you look at the pull of the ES chart right now, you will see exactly it's going back. SPY chart, it looks like this today.
You answered your own question when you said, isn't it supposed to go back? Right? Don't trade on supposed, would, could,
Assumptions,
all of
may,
that stuff.
could
Yeah,
be,
may,
will
yeah,
be.
don't do it on that. Yeah, because you that's gambling, and very simply, you just don't want to do that, right? You want to take calculated risk. There is no calculation here. The calculation here is going down,
Look,
right? That's the
whatever SPY recovered in the after hours. Now, this is SPY futures ES, which mainly means move with trade. Okay, this is giving back all those gains. That's it. Okay, like don't assume. That's it. If something comes down, it can keep on going down more. If something goes up,
Yeah.
it can keep on going up more. There is no stop to it. Just like I told Gigi that we don't have a crystal ball, but we try to look at probabilities. We try to have a plan, like which way it may go. Okay, just
can I
because
ask
it's
about maybe
going down, it will go down
inf-
more. It can happen. Yep,
do you guys ever look at the order flow, like I think they call it the level two,
of
when it
course we do.
talks about the orders coming in, the orders going
Yeah,
out?
we do.
You do? Because I was under the impression that these market makers, people that post, like, they have the automatic, like, stop losses, that they will force the price down just below that to trigger, so that they can scoop up
I'm
shares at a
gonna
certain price.
slaughter you now. Okay, I'm
What?
literally gonna slaughter you now.
Why is that not true? Or what? What did I
Let
say?
me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many people are here? Like 20 of us? What do you think is our total capital? A million bucks? Hal, you have a
1 million.
background noise. Would you mind muting your mic, Hal, please? How much do you think is our total capital? A million bucks? Or say, Nikolai, you're a rich guy. Double it up.
B
Is that a direct
said
question? I was
100K
being quiet,
plus.
Yeah.
and
How much do you think is the total capital all of us have? 2 million bucks? 20 of
I
us?
wasn't
hey.
suggesting it was. I wasn't suggesting it specifically of us. I'm saying in the markets in general
I'm
that
talking
they're
about the market in
manipulating.
general, right?
Right.
We are really small retail traders. Say even if 20 of us gets together and
There's a
puts up an
lot of money.
order,
There's
that's
a
2
lot of retail
million
money in the
bucks.
market.
Yeah. Do you think 2 million bucks of SPY contract really matters? That people will hunt for those stops?
I think it's
Absolutely no.
way $2 million. No,
It's worth nothing.
no, no. I think you might be underestimating it.
I'm
So
not.
I'll put it this way, Moin. I'll put it this way. We all look at order flow, and we all look at order flow in the small time frames, because we're looking to see how much those order flows and resistance are affecting it, right?
Right.
And it I don't know. I've recently gotten it, like over the last 2 3 months. How much I use it is very relative to how the stock is performing. If it has a lot of momentum, I really don't give a, you
It will
know,
just cut through knife.
of what's flowing
It will
through.
just
Exactly,
cut through
right?
like a knife.
Well, momentum can
Exactly.
push through. Can push through what
Yeah.
particular
Exactly.
particular
Yeah.
fund has.
Okay.
Where I start looking at it is, when it starts to get stuck at a level, right? Like, for
Right.
example, if it's already moved from 2 to 4, and now I'm looking, oh yeah, if at 4 there's a I don't know, an $80,000 order
Order
to
filled.
sell, or, like $150,000 sell. Yes, that's where I use it. So there's a time and place in
Right.
penny stocks to use order flow. There's
Even for
also
large
option
caps,
flow that you
same
will
thing.
see. Yeah, you will see option flow
Right.
for
Right. Right.
large caps that James sometimes
Hal
used to
said
put on
question.
Alpha's Discord. And you can
Even
use
Smooth
that
has
to
it
gauge
working
an
for us
interest
over
of.
here. Smooth, we have the whale
Sure,
trades right
yeah.
here.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry.
you can utilize
We
those
have the whale
things.
flows here,
But
right? The whale trades here.
Yes, we do,
Yeah,
and I have it set up for large flow alerts. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Oh, the
so you can
unusual flow, right?
utilize those things as well.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
thinking about the fact that that the people are here, like the market makers are here to, rob you of money. While there might be some truth to it, I think um that's too much greed to think about that, hey, somebody's here to rob me of my money. People who are disciplined make a lot of money over here. I'll be
Order
really
filled.
honest with you. If you were thinking that it's stop losses being raided and all of that stuff happening, that is really a very small percentage of um
Stop loss rates happen. Okay,
So
yeah,
because
so
it
liquidity sits
happened.
there. Liquidity
I'm
sits
not.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I didn't mean
market
for it to be a
makers
focus that
don't look
like.
at your stop losses because we don't matter to the market. Full stop. Okay, you, me, Nikolai, the whole of us, even if we are combined to one single trader, we are not even a plankton in the ocean compared to the whole market. Okay, forget a
But
You
isn't
fish.
that
are
kind of
right.
isn't that counterintuitive to the fact that if there's momentum, meaning there's a lot of people that are in the market that are not these institutional, that they are able to sway the market themselves, like we
Not
are able to
really.
push the
Order
market.
filled.
Not really. They're made to
The,
There's
think. They're made to think that they can do that. But the market makers will totally control because when they put up a block, you simply cannot go over that block. I was trading KULR, okay, with one of my friends, okay, who is also in this server. We simply looked at where the order block on KULR was, okay. At 261, somebody put a order block, okay, of 500,000 shares, and it was not just going away. Retail traders were trying to chip away at it, and basically they were putting up more. They were putting up more because they just wanted this to dump. They did the pump, they wanted it to dump. Okay,
So isn't this what I was saying, that they manipulate the market? So in other words, I guess
of course they
my
manipulate. The retail
what?
traders think like they're swaying the market. They are not.
No, I'm saying that the never mind. Forget that I brought it up. I
Cherry
guess
said
my
we
question
should
was
focus on
misunderstood.
trading
Fair
strategies and
enough. We'll
education.
get back. It's for all of us learning. Okay, so just get that notion out of your head. The market makers, they simply don't look at our stop losses. What they look for is where liquidity will be in the market. Now, we basically, when we place our stops in that, we place it exactly where the market makers will bring down the market, take our contracts, do that stop loss rate, and move it up. Plain and simple. You have to be a bit smarter to understand the psychology, the mindset, okay, which we'll go more and more later and do that. All right, so that is there. Now, coming back to the original question, I'm sorry, Gigi, we deviated a
Dexter
lot.
said it only worked once in history and that was the GME squeeze. Since that
Gigi, was
happened,
it
they
a
learned how to
Google
control
with the
retail
L or
traders.
just Goog? Were you
No, it
asking
was
for the
the
levels
Google.
for?
She was asking for Google. Okay. Gigi, first of all, did I answer your question on SDHR? You can keep your mics unmuted as long
Yes.
as there's no background noise. All right, let's do Google. What do you do with it, madam? First, tell us. That's going to be the pattern of questions. Like, you have to tell us, like, what's your plan with the stock? We look at it.
Swing.
How long?
Week.
Or short?
What?
No,
What?
it was just a play on long and
Okay.
short.
I love
Continue.
Google. Honestly, it's one of the 5 stocks that I have in my long-term portfolio. Okay, and I try to buy the retracements. Okay, like when there's a healthy retracement and starts going back up, I try to buy it.
Is that a Google with a G? The A or the B? Or the C?
It's a C.
GOOGL.
Okay, with
GL,
the L.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Does anybody know the difference between the GL and the G by
Educate us, sir.
itself?
I don't know the difference. I've always wondered, but I don't know.
Is
That's
it
why
warrant
Smooth is
shared?
here to teach us.
Warrant shared or
It
something?
yeah,
it's just a
it's
class. It's the
yeah,
type.
class yeah, it's it's
Preferred,
considered a, what is
common,
it?
and what's the other one?
Correct me on the term, but it's like voters voting rights, right? So tech,
Correct.
even though you know you don't really own enough to, like, most people won't own enough to have a sway in Google, but having the GOOGL shows that you're a part owner of, you know, Google's decisions, right? You know, you don't
It's
necessarily
preferred
do that.
stock? Are you
Huh?
saying it's a preferred stock?
It's more expensive, is most of the time, if you noticed. It's not necessarily preferred for swing, like day traders and swing traders, and, you know, basic retail traders. Most of the time people will go for just the GOOG without the L, just because it's cheaper. But the L just gives you, you know, somewhat of a personal ownership of the companies, say.
Okay, there's another
Voting
aspect to
right.
it,
Yeah.
Smooth.
It's L
Voting
is for
right.
listening.
Yeah.
It says for listening to you, right? They got to listen to you.
So,
Not only
Yeah.
for
so
listening, there's another aspect to it as well. Okay, like these are basically class C shares, right? These are the common shares. Okay, the class A is the preferred one that someone brought up. So in case this company ever gets bankrupt, the A and the B will have the first rights to the assets. Okay, only after that the common shareholders will come into play. So just like Smooth said, the other one basically is expensive. There's a reason for that being expensive because those guys have more rights to it than us. Make sense? Between what he said and I
hmm?
said?
Yeah, and also voting rights. You also get one. You get a right to
Exactly.
vote, and per you get right per one vote per share, and the other one you don't. L, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but the L is a vote, and C is without the vote.
The, yeah, the
Yes,
one with
you're
the
right.
L is A with the voting rights, and G is the one
Correct.
which is Class B with no voting
Yeah.
rights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
And
We're like the
the
lowest
B are
tier.
founder
Let's just
shares.
put it that way.
B, yeah, B are founder shares.
Yeah. Okay. So the A and B basically have definitely more rights to the ownership, more rights to the asset than us. Okay.
Yeah,
But
B is a
anyway,
1 to 10 voting right actually.
yeah, that's good. You're gonna get there someday, right? With your Lambos.
Yes, absolutely.
One day.
Okay. Yeah. So I might see your name on the what do you call that 10% declaration form also. I'm waiting for that day in the zone. Okay.
Yeah, for on I'll have it on Wint. Don't worry, WINT soon.
You still holding that one?
I'll see you there in
Y-
3031.
Yeah, I have a small portion in it. Yeah, I got rid of a quite a bit. I got a little optimistic that, it might go up a little bit more. So I got rid of, like, I think 60-70% of my position, and then it just, like, went down, and I was like, okay, we'll buy some more later. Don't worry.
Man, sell one of your cars. You might become 5% shareholder of the company tomorrow. The way it's going. Okay. Now, coming back to Google. All right. Google just took a beating along with the whole market. That's it. Okay. There is no other explanation for this.
Whole
Like
market.
the dump, like this size, okay, is literally impossible on a large cap like this. The whole market went down. This is the side effect that you are seeing. For me, for some reason, I feel like I don't know, Smooth. You might have a way better insight because I know your technicals are way better than me. I feel like today's an extreme overreaction.
Oh, most definitely. Typically, like any kind of decline like this is an overreaction in general, because I would say around 230, when we had the initial news of only 25 basis points cuts, which obviously would have dropped the market. Around 230, we had the drop. There was time for recovery, but everyone's emotions got involved,
This
and
is
we
just
continued to
panic
go
selling,
down.
pure panic
Yeah.
selling.
And on average, we have about, like, in the high 30s, millions of dollars going in and out of the market. And today we had like almost 50% increase in volume on a single day. So it's one of the highest volumes days of the year so far, and it was on panic selling.
Yeah, highest volume day as well as highest dumping day, probably of the whole year. Okay,
Isn't it a
not
good
only
day
of the
for
whole
us then to
year.
buy up?
Not really. You never know. Tomorrow
Not
it might go lower.
necessarily.
If you know
Well,
what you're
obviously you got
doing.
to wait for the
Options.
indicators, but that when it's down, that's usually a time to eat, as Chris says.
Do you know? That's why Chris say never live trades, right? Because he cannot make money when he's live trading. Okay, plain and simple. Sounds a little bad, but that's the truth. Now,
Mm-hmm.
coming back, you never know. Tomorrow it might drop another 5%, right? So you don't trade on anticipation. Get that
I
habit
didn't
out
say I'd buy
immediately.
blindly, but it's something to watch out for, right?
Where would you watch? At least a reclaim over this. Till that, every time it pops, you short it. Like today, this was literally like a spectator sports to watch. Honestly, the drop on SPY. I came back home around 2:40. Me, my buddy Ashley, the last guy whom you see at the end of this chat, whose name is extremely difficult to pronounce, but it's actually Ashley. Ashley, you can mute the mic and at least tell us hi. Okay.
Smooth, will
Yeah.
not DM, said drew up a little levels for Gugsulji,
It's
for you
Gray.
to
I'm
look
checking
at as
in,
well.
not Ashley. I'm here though, listening.
Hey, Gray, how are you? Okay.
I'm
So
here.
thanks, Gray, for joining.
We're
So,
we're all doing this.
yeah,
Cheers.
we were literally then with 100 trades. Okay, we were just watching this like you watch a game on the TV. We were watching and trying to see like how
Hi,
far
how you
below
doing?
it drops. It just kept on dumping. Ashley, you want to add something?
I'm just saying hi and listening in.
Yeah, it was so much, I mean, like tantalizing to watch it. Okay, because none of us have seen this happening ever. Okay, cutting levels after levels after levels, like levels don't exist anymore. So that's it. All right. So,
It was worse than August 5th. August 5th was
Yeah.
like $3 and something. This was like 3% or something. Like just under 3%. This was like closer to 4. I feel like
I
percent down.
I remember
Sounds
talking
like
to
you
Moin
guys are
about this back
complaining.
in August. I remember we were talking about this in August when Moin we had like two back-to-back 2%
mm-hmm,
days, I think,
mm-hmm.
where Moin was telling me that there's just 2% days are like impossible, like they just almost never happen. Like it's a very difficult day, and we had like back to back of those days, and after that we had a crazy rebound like every time. But like one was saying about this, you buy dips absolutely, but you don't buy dips before they stop dipping, I guess. You don't buy a falling knife, right? You have to have confirmation that something, all things always consolidate a little bit before they start like shooting up again. And that's the only way that I can say this, because you can go look back, you can look at June when it fell in the market, and it just like started consolidating a little bit, then started to shoot back up, then went back down in August, then started shooting up. It's been absolutely amazing how fast things have recovered. But that's not a very sustainable thing either. So I know there are a lot of people who keep crying about this, that the market's going to correct, the market's going to correct, but because a lot of those people have seen multiple market corrections probably, and we will get that as well. So um, the part that Moin was saying to you guys, that just don't trade on what it might do. Just make sure that things happen, because especially a lot of people trade contracts on these, and they will get decimated absolutely like within a day.
You literally get annihilated, right? If it drops another 3% tomorrow, imagine the level of panic selling that will happen. Okay, I don't want that because I also have a long-term portfolio. Okay, I want it to grow slowly. Okay, so coming back to Gigi's question on Google, this is literally a extreme effect that you're saying. Where I will really be afraid, Gigi, if tomorrow this level gives away. Okay, if tomorrow your 190 is another psychological mark, a round number, if this gives away, I will be seriously afraid here.
Order
Okay,
filled.
I will be thinking like, should I even consider, okay, holding my long-term portfolio on it or liquidating and getting out with whatever profits I can? Okay, like I think when SPY, I started buying into SPY from 386. I liquidated my entire
Order
SPY
filled.
position at around 555. Okay, and I haven't added to my position in Back in August, I think we dipped to 530s. I started buying a little bit, which I'm still holding. I might be liquidating it if I stay another day like this, because I'll buy it back cheap again. Okay, so here basically I will be really worried if this level gives away. bec- And if this level gives away, I don't have anything up to here. Do you see this? And if this level gives away, my problem is even bigger. I have a
I
gap to
can't see
fill.
the what is excuse me, what level? Because I can't see the screen is small. What level were you talking about giving away?
What do you mean the screen is small? Are you watching from
When
your
you
phone?
It's
no, I'm
small.
watching from my laptop.
So how can your screen be small?
I don't know, but it's small. I can't see it.
Small on mine as
Those
well.
numbers are little. They are little. They're tiny. And I
He's
got my face to the screen with glasses on at that.
he's basically talking about you could go
Small.
back
Give me a
to
sec. Give me a sec. What you do is just point to the bottom right side of your screen. There is something called a full screen. Do you see? There are
I
two
got
icons.
that. Yeah.
Full
I
screen
got
and
the full
pop out.
screen.
Click on that.
I did already. The
You
full
still can't
screen.
see my screen properly?
yeah, the numbers
B.
are small, Mo.
Said.
Um,
I can see your screen, but the
Okay.
numbers are very
All
small.
right. Let me read it
So
out
I
for
was
you.
trying to
No
get the
worries.
level that you
Sure.
pointed to.
This is the level the where my mouse is right now. This is 189.28.
Thank you.
All right. The next level I'm talking about is
Yeah,
183.82.
there's a gap on SPY that hasn't been filled. The gap on Q's filled today. The gap on SPY didn't fill yet,
Yep.
so we can expect that. We should
I will just
expect
cover
that
that
to
trade.
fill.
Yep. Thanks for
If you
bringing
look
that
at the
up.
daily,
Yep. I'll bring that up just after this. So next level,
Angelina, can you let
if you
Archie
want
in?
targets about where it's going to go or
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah. So if we are
Can you
looking
let him in?
here,
I'm changing. I don't know, but can you let him in? I'm changing.
okay. So over here, the next level I
B.
have is
Said LMAO.
183.70. Like if this breaks, then basically I do have a problem. Okay. Because I don't have anything. If this retest fails, this is the 20 on the daily, as well as you have a level. Both are very close. I do have a gap. The human psychology of filling gaps will immediately kick in. Okay, so I don't want to risk that. If I say this level breaking out, I would definitely not go for calls anymore. I would go for puts. If I'm holding the stock, I would be
B.
cautious moving up
Said
my
hot
stops.
mic.
Okay.
Rawlism sent her him in.
Makes sense. Okay, the second thing I'm looking at on the upside, once I see a break above this level, over 192.84, this line, I would definitely be interested in getting back again. I want to see a clean close above, not like a doji type close. Let's say this candle is reversed. I don't want to see a candle like this just closing on the line. I want to see a little bit above close on the daily. If I have that, I'll feel more confident that this thing is going to go back up. And if it starts going back up, if you retest this level, it will keep on making new highs. Because when you're going up,
Okay.
the worst thing you can do is thinking like this thing is not gonna go anymore. Start shorting it or buy puts, you're smoked. That's it. Okay, don't ever think of doing that. If something goes
Okay.
up, it can keep on going up. Does that help, Gigi? On your
It helps a lot. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, madam. I will quickly take the few other questions on the chat here. Okay. Joanne, your question, I will answer it to you when we have our one-to-one on Friday. Okay, because that's a lot of factors that come in. But I do hope you guys are liking the morning levels that I'm giving out. If you have any feedback on how to improve those, just like I asked Joyrider, I'll ask the same feedback from all of you. Feel free to give feedback. We are most welcome. Okay, to take your feedback. Hal, your question about a sell off today. We covered this quite a bit. I will move to a daily chart on SPY. This is my daily chart. I know it looks very shabby, but just focus here. We started cutting through level after level after level today, right? Okay, we have this huge red candle, and you can see the volume on this candle, which makes it even more scary. Okay, just like Smooth said, you had a huge sell off supported by volume actually. It just does not look good right now. Okay, panic selling, yes, but once panic sets in, fear creates more fear. So, what am I looking at? The next level I think the market makers, they were desperate. Okay, whoever was like trying to push this up, they were desperate for this level not to be broken anyhow. Because if this level breaks, the next level you will test is 583.86 right here. After that, great, this is the gap you are talking about, correct?
Yeah, there's a clear gap on the daily.
It's a huge
Yeah.
gap actually, not only a
Yeah, it's a
gap.
huge gap, and we dipped the toe into it,
Mm-hmm.
but Q's went down to fill the gap.
Yep, exactly. I'm gonna bring up that
Yeah,
next. Smooth, go
Q's
on.
has had
Yeah.
multiple lower lows this year. Spies only had like a handful compared to Q's as far as 52-week lows. Q's has been struggling, but it's also been shooting up pretty high as well. That's all I want to say. Q's has been filling every gap down. It does not wait.
Yeah. So here, I would be super afraid, honestly, to trade tomorrow because we might have a rebound, okay, relief candles, but after that, it might totally fail and start coming down more. Okay, like if you guys have noticed, I am not trading with size for this week since
I
last
mean,
week.
the move was today, and now we chop here. Probably for the next couple of weeks. We're not going to move up until we see serious buying. You know,
Which is
it's
very
it's going to
unlikely to
take
happen at this
it's
stage
going to
too.
take a lot to
Yeah,
get this
Yeah.
move
And,
back.
and
So
you're
don't
approaching at
forget
the
a
same
basically,
dead
right
time.
cat.
now we're in a chop
Don't
zone.
forget a dead cat bounce. That's very, very possible.
Very
Unlikely, but very
possible,
But it's
possible.
but the dead cat
Very
might die
possible.
against me.
no, yeah. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it
yeah.
is
No, but if it
possible.
has a
It's
dead cat
possible
bounce, we're gonna go
if
down even
we
further.
Hmm.
if yeah, that's
Retest your
the ones
That's
that
the
we
590s.
problem.
short. Those bounces are the ones that we short.
Retest your 590s. Boom. And then boom.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so too. Because 590 is gonna be your flip right there, and it's gonna just touch it and fail if it does do a
G,
dead cat
said
bounce.
Smooth. Will not DM. Thanks for the levels.
Okay. So that's there. Gigi, if it helps, I'll give you these levels as well in the chat.
I mean, we have 11 million. Well, 11 million that I counted is probably a lot more than that. Shares of SPY at 600. So 11 million times 604.37. How much money is that? That's quite
Sorry,
a few
bro.
billions.
I have a
That's quite
small
a few
calculator.
billions.
Don't think it
It's
can
quite a few
calculate.
billions that sold at the top, the right before this sell-off started. So we would need to see that much more money buying.
Buying back into it. Okay. And what
Yeah.
I'll add is just to what Gray mentioned. Okay. That another factor you need to consider is this is the end of the year, right? People who already locked in their profits for the whole year, okay, made pretty good money. Everybody has this psychology, right? They want to close the year properly. Okay, you definitely don't want to gamble anymore on a time like this. Okay, so most likely that buyback is a bit far-fetched from happening immediately in the next 2 weeks. Plus, this is a historical time when volume is actually very low. Okay, coming back to QQQ, just like Gray mentioned, okay, same thing over here. We had that gap. This candle literally filled it out, tested a level, which was from quite some time back. Right here, you see. Okay, and tomorrow, this is the line in the sand for me. Okay, if this breaks, I'm looking at more downside, plain and simple. But if we manage to hold, get over the 20, the blue line, as well as 519.60, 520-ish, maybe I will think about taking long positions. But till then, I will try to short every pop that there is. And especially if it's
Well,
like a dead cat bounce, of course, better option to short it.
Moen, could you go back
That's
to the
okay.
five
Like
minute
your
really
favorite
quickly? Yeah,
things
right
that
there,
you
the
like
5 minute.
to buy, like actual shares, this is probably a decent time to start shopping around. It's like everything's going on Black Friday, Christmas sale or something.
Let it
Buy your
happen for a day
buy
or
your
more.
favorites, the ones that you love. Buy them if they're quantums. Hey, look, the quantums didn't get hit that hard today. Okay,
True.
I mean they went down, but all the quantums are still kind of good. So I don't know.
I
I've
would
got
I would still be careful, and the reason why I'm adding this is that
Order
Part
filled.
of the reason why everything went down, if you look at the Russell 2000, it went down 4.5%.
I know the
And the
reason
reason
why
for that,
everything went down. No one has
yeah,
to explain it to me.
no, I'm talking to everybody else. I'm trying to say to everybody else that small caps, including quantums and everything else, they might
It
take
went
a
down
beating
because there was
more.
massive selling.
Yeah, and they're saying that they're going to only cut. The Fed said that they're only going to cut two more
Next year.
interest rates compared to four, right? So that is huge for the smaller guys as well. The tech and for smaller companies as well. So you can expect a little bit more of a beating, especially for the small cap. So just get your confirmations. To take a look over the next few days. How things go, especially for
Just
small
take it
caps.
easy. Just take it easy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we have a whole new start year to start in a few days, right? There's no rush. Okay. And at this time, when volume is low, much easier for wacky things to happen. Let's just put it that way. Okay. I mean, like, a very small shove can be a huge
And
pull.
so VIX, was up 75% today.
What's
It was up
this?
a little bit yesterday. VIX is up. So when VIX is up, so just for everyone that's going to be trading or day trading, when VIX is high, you need to make sure that you keep your size down because the moves are going to be bigger. So if you're sized bigger, you're going to get stopped out sooner.
Gray, if you just take a minute more, because a lot of us here might not be familiar with the VIX.
G,
Okay.
said
Would you
MHM,
mind
please keep
explaining
posting the daily levels you post for SPY,
what
Volatility.
is VIX?
QQQ,
Would you explain
ENVDA,
that to all of
etc.,
us?
in color codes. I so greatly appreciate it. It makes it so much easier.
It's it's a volatility index, and basically it's tracking. It tracks about a month out. So it is the fear index. So as your fear and greed index, you
Order
guys can kind of
filled.
see that little ticker. As that ticks up, well, there is a market for that. And so that has gone quite up.
So
When the
basically,
VIX
yeah,
when the
go on.
VIX is up,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be more volatility. Like this entire walk up that we've had over these last, since the election has been super low VIX and super low kind of walking up, but it's been thin the whole time. Now the volatility has spiked, but there are better explanations of the VIX than I can give. You can just do a quick Google and then read
Uh,
it.
your your
But
explanation was pretty well. The key takeaway here is fear and panic. It's really what it calculates. Anytime the VIX
selling
is
begets
over
more
25,
selling.
30, it's just huge
Selling
fear and
begets
panic
more
in the
selling.
market.
So this is your fear index, but technically the VIX, what it uses to make its number are like they're a month out SPY options. So if everyone is selling options in the future right now, or like dumping them, ones they already have, these are dated options. So when those longer dated options started getting sold, the VIX goes up because it looks at that. That's the fear. It doesn't look at today's, like technically today's expiration of SPY options. It looks at the expiration of SPY options that are quarter, 1,
A bit out.
2025.
Yeah, a bit out.
And so when those start selling off, the VIX starts rising. It's kind of that's how that works. So VIX isn't like a day to day thing that you want to look at, but we have had super low VIX and like under 14, for a while, over 15, today or yesterday over 15, today 27. It's insane. It's up 75% today. So that means that those later dated SPY options,
Order
everyone is
filled.
selling those. either the ones they already have they're selling, or there are naked sold calls. You know what I'm saying?
So great. If I
Which is
can
both, which is
summarize,
bearish.
yeah,
Yeah.
if I can summarize, so VIX basically gives you an outlook of like what is the mindset or the psychology of the market, like what the market is feeling about a bit way out, correct?
Yes. But when VIX is high, volatility is also going to be high. That's why I'm saying if you're a
And that's
trader, you're
across the
day trading, or
market.
you're futures trading,
That's across
this
the
it
market.
will the moves will be bigger. Like the moves, hey, you're normally, hey, I use one contract and I do this, and my normal stop is here. You're going to get stopped out quicker. You need to size down because you could get stopped out quicker and then immediately reverse off of
Of
your,
your face.
when you're trading your system of candle system, and hey, I'm gonna trade this for a couple of hours to just make some gain. Just, I'm saying, size down because those small time moves are bigger sized when the VIX is up. When the
Thanks,
VIX
Gray,
is
for sharing
low,
with us. Yep.
when the VIX is low, those small time moves are smaller, and you can size up on those and get, for every,
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks,
saying,
Gray.
when the VIX
Yep.
is high, those small time moves are bigger.
Gotcha, bro. Thank you for explaining, Gray. Okay, so
That,
we are
that
at
well,
time here. Okay, so I'll call it a night. What I'll request again is like trade very safely tomorrow because times of uncertainty are very difficult to trade. Sometimes, just like I mentioned in the morning today, cash is a great position, trust me. Okay, so be a bit careful, wait for it. Okay, try to find a direction. Just don't buy the dip because it looks like a dip. It might go down even more. Okay, the best times to add is like, to me
if it
personally,
seems like it's
when it
ripping
seems
in your
moving back.
face, just short it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
If it seems like, oh my God, we're bouncing back, this whole thing is coming back, just
It might not
take
be
a
a real
small
thing.
take a small size short position
Yeah, it might not be a real
on
thing.
that
That's
on
it.
that big green candle.
Yep. You just spoke my mind. All right, so that's there. And this is exactly the reason, okay, why this server was created. So people of similar mindset can come together, learn from each other. I hope you all found it helpful. Okay. And if you like it, like I said, feel free to invite your friends and family. It's totally free, right? And we'll try to keep it as long as we
B.
can afford it.
Said thank you, great
Okay,
session.
so have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.